Welcome at lesson 7.2, and let's look at the answers. Some of you may sit there and say, "Sir, I think my teacher is not liking me because he gave us such difficult calculations." But guys, let's have a look and see how we're going to do these calculations. Let's first grab our pencil and let's see what we can see is really happening at the sketch. If I look at the parallelogram A, B, C, D, that's the outside part. I know one of the properties of a parallelogram is that the opposite angles must be the same. So therefore, that angle there must be then equal to y. If I look at the triangle now, A, B, E, I see that it is a equilateral triangle. All sides are equal in length. But another property of that triangle then will be then that the interior angles will be the same. So that means that this angle here must also be y, and that angle there must also be y. Then I'm going to continue looking at the triangle. Let me see if I can just highlight the triangle again. I just want to, I'm close. Where is it now? There we go. Oh, sir, I know that the exterior angle equals to the sum of the opposite interior. Sir, it makes that one then to become there. Let me just grab it there. It makes that one then to become there. Let me try to write it in there. 2y. Look how much information was really available to me by just looking. Now let's start. Let's first start now. I know quite a lot of my sketch now. So let's start. Statement. And reason. Let's start making the statement first by saying now that angle D must be equal to angle B must be equal to y, and the reason for that is opposite angle, let's just say of a palm. Those are the same. Therefore, I can make the next statement. Therefore, I would like to state that angle B must then be equal to angle A2, must then be equal to angle E1, must be then equal to y. And the reason for that, I'm just going to say angles of equilateral triangle. That's all I'm going to mention there. Now, I'm going to continue now in that same triangle where I'm going to say and angle A2 plus angle B plus angle E1 equal to be 180 degrees. The sum of the angles interior of a triangle equal to be 180 degrees. Now I'm going to substitute the information into my angles. So therefore A2 going to become then y plus b y e y equals to be 180 degrees. Likewise terms now in this case going to give me now 3y equals to be 180 degrees. Divide on the left with a 3, divide on the right with a 3. It looks to me that y going to give me a value of 60 degrees. Guys, and we have mentioned it before, as soon as I do have an answer, I'm writing my information in. So the y, that angle then there, y, and I'm going to put it down there, equal to be 60 degrees. And then the 2y, so therefore, let's just mention it down here. Therefore, then I'm going to say that angle E2 equals to be 2, and y, in the place of y, it's going to become 60 degrees. So I'm going to put it in a bracket 60. So it seems to me that that answer then going to become then something like 120 degrees. If I want to use it later on. So that angle 120 degrees. Right, guys, and there I got that part so far. Now I must try to find y in this particular case. Let's see if I can find y. Now my space is very much limited, so I'm going to try my best to continue. I would like to start now in saying in quadrilateral. Now let me see if I can find a quadrilateral. So I'm going to refer now to quadrilateral. Which quadrilateral will I like to refer? Let's see. In which quadrilateral? I would like to refer to quadrilateral A, E, C, D. Let me see if I maybe can just highlight it. It is A, this one here. I'm in this figure now. What do I know about a quadrilateral? One of the properties of a quadrilateral, four-figure closed, that the interior angles must be equal to be 360 degrees. So I'm going to start mentioning that part there, where I'm going to say now, angle A1 plus angle E2 plus angle C plus angle D must be equal to be 360 degrees. And I'm just going to say there, the sum interior of a quad. So therefore, if I substitute it, let me see if I can put it in here. So angle A1 going to become A1 plus, remember E2 previously mentioned to be 120 degrees, plus angle C, 2x, plus D, previously determined to be 60 degrees, equals to be 360 degrees. I'm going to continue now on the right hand side. Let me just quickly put here statement and reason. So therefore, on the left, I'm going to have then angle A1 plus 120 plus 60, going to leave me then with 180 degrees plus the 2x equals to be 360 degrees. Now, minus 180 on the left, minus 180 on the right, so therefore I'm going to have angle A1 of course, angle A1 plus 2x, And if I subtract the 180 on the right hand side, I'm still going to be left with 180 degrees. And I would like to refer to this one as equation 1. Now the next one I would like to look at is the parallelogram. The parallelogram. Which parallelogram? That's the one right on the outside. Let me see if I can maybe, if it will fit. Let's see if it will hold. I'm looking now at this parallelogram, the outside one. What do I know about a parallelogram? So let's first say parallelogram A, B, C, D. In a parallelogram, I know that the opposite side or opposite angles must be the same. That means that that angle there and that angle there have to be the same. That's the one I'm going to be interested in now. So I'm going to make that statement by saying angle A1 plus angle A2 must be equal to be the value of 2x. And my reason for that, of course, again is angles or opposite angles opposite a palm. Now I'm looking now at this A1 down here. Let me see if I can just grab that. I'm having a A1 here. Let me first do it like this. I'm going to take this A2 to the right hand side. So I'm going to have A1 equals to be 2x, and in the place of A2, remember if I look at the sketch that the value of A2 actually must be y, and if that y crossing it's going to become minus y, and I'm going to call this one equation 2. Now I'm having two equations, and the part I'm interested in is here I'm having a A1, and in this equation there I'm having a A1. So I'm going to take this answer of this A1 and I'm going to substitute it into that value down there. Let's see if we can do that. So I'm going to have, let me first write equation 1 down. Let's see if I have space. Angle A1 plus 2x equals to be 100. Now I'm going to substitute this value of A1 into the A1 in my equation. So I'm going to replace this in there. So I'm going to have 2x minus y, and I continue now with the rest, plus 2x equals to be 180 degrees. Therefore, 2x plus 2x going to give me 4x. In the place of y, and I know previously my y was determined to be 60 degrees, minus 60 degrees equals to be 180 degrees. On the left, plus 60 to get rid of the 60. What I do left, I have to do right. Or we just say take the 60 across. If I take the 60 across, it will become a plus, and then I'm going to have a value of 240 degrees. On the left still to be 4x. Then, on the left, divide with a 4. On the right, divide with a 4x. Going to give me a value then of 60 degrees. Wow, what a beautiful calculation. I have really done many things. It was really a challenging calculation, especially in the way that I've done it, determining two equations. Now guys, this is where we need to be. I really want you to look this one again and again till you understand what I have done in this particular case. All the best with this calculation. Let's go now for question number 2. Question number 2. Don't think the sketch is small, the answer going to be fast. We really got to look nicely to see what's happening here. So what is my motto? I grab quickly my structure, I quickly grab my pencil, and I'm going to have fun. I do see it is note to be a rhombus. What do I know in a rhombus? That all the sides must be the same. And just by saying that, that side then they also got to be 3 centimeter, and there I already have one of my answers. I also know that in a rhombus that the diagonals bisect the angle, the corner. So if that's 108, it means then that this part of the angle must be then 54, and that part there must be 54 degrees. And then I also know that the opposite angles in a quadrilateral or in a rhombus must be the same. So therefore, if that's bisecting the same, it means that this one also have to be 54 degrees, 54 degrees. And there I have a second answer immediately. Look how easy it really becomes if I know my properties. I also know that the diagonals of a rhombus bisecting each other at 90 degrees. Wow, there I have another one. If I look now at the triangle A, D, and then this one in the middle, I can say immediately that the sum of the interior must be equal to 180. It seems to me I have my answers, and by all that, by just having fun and know my properties. Let's see if I can do the calculations now. So I'm going to start statement, and reason. The first part I have mentioned there is I'm going to say now that P must be equal to be 3 centimeters. And why do I say that? I'm just going to mention here all sides equal rhombus. Right, there I have my first one. My next one we're going to say that y must be equal to 54 degrees. Why do I want to say 54 degrees? I'm just going to mention here diagonals bisect the corner angles. Right, so I got the y as well. I'm going to say z must be equal to be 90 degrees. Why? Diagonals bisect each other at 90 degrees. Now I just need to find the x. So let me go to the right hand side. Statement. Reason. I'm going to say now in triangle, and the triangle I'm going to mention here y plus z plus x must be equal 180 degrees. The sum of the angles interior of a triangle equals to 180 degrees. Y previously mentioned to be 54 degrees plus the z 90 degrees plus the x equals to be 180 degrees on the left. '54 plus 90 going to leave me with 144 degrees plus the x equals to be 180. Take the 144, so it's a plus. Minus on the left 144, minus on the right. Or take it to the right hand side. We're going to have x going to become 180 degrees minus 144 degrees. So it looks to me x going to leave us with an answer of 36 degrees. Now guys, this one became quite easy because of the properties of a rhombus. So that's why to know your properties of a rhombus or any quadrilateral that matter is so important. Let's go for the next question. Question number 3, the last one for the homework. Let's see what we can do with this one. Now I like to take first my pencil and I just like to play. If I look at the parallelogram, P, Q, R, S. I know in a parallelogram property, opposite angles to be the same. It makes that angle then there to become also a value of x. If I'm going to continue now by saying, if I'm going to look at this triangle, I'm going to try to highlight this triangle here. I must know that the opposite angle must be equal to the sum of the opposite interior. So, and that's a 90, so I can find the x. If I'm going to find or look now at the next triangle, perhaps I'm going to look at this one down here. And now I'm going to continue. Let me just make it better. I'm also going to use that exterior angle equals to the sum of the opposite interior, so I can find the y. And then if I'm going to look at the outside triangle, W, S, R. If I'm going to look at that, then I can say that the sum of the interior equals to 180. So yes, there are the three figures I'm going to play with in this case. And that all by just looking and see the figures I need to see. Guys, can you see, the more we're going to practice it, the easier the eye will start to see all the different figures I need to have. So let's start. Statement. Reason. I would like to start then by saying first that angle Q must be equal to x. And my reason for that is opposite angles of a palm. Now I have that. Now I'm going to say in that right triangle, of course the green one that I've labeled there, I'm going to say now T2, angle T2 must be equal to angle Q plus angle R. And of course my reason for that is exterior angle exterior angle of a triangle. Right, so now we're going to do substitution. T2 labeled to be 135 degrees equals to Q, previously mentioned, to be X, plus angle R, that are 90 degrees, given to be 90 degrees. Minus 90 on the right, minus 90 on the left, or just take the 90 to the left. So we're going to have X. So we're going to have on the left 135 minus 90 is going to leave me then with a value of 45 degrees. And there I have determined my X value so far. Now I'm going to go to the triangle, the yellow one on the left. So let me just see if I can draw a line just to separate them. Right, there we go. Now on the left, I'm going to make the same statement. T2 going to be now angle W plus angle P. If I look at that, I'm going to substitute this now by T2 is 135 equals to W to be Y plus angle P given to be 45 degrees. Minus 45 on the right, minus 45 on the left, or just take the 45 across, I'm going to have Y. So on the left, I'm going to have 135 minus 45, and that's going to leave me with the answer something like 90 degrees. And there I have Y. If I continue now with that, let me just put statement reason here. In the triangle WSR, I'm going to say now that YW, angle W, plus angle S, plus angle R, must be then equal to be 180 degrees. The sum of the angles interior of a triangle equals to be 180 degrees. I'm substituting now. W is Y plus X to be X plus R to be Z, the one I'm really like to find now, equals to be 180 degrees. Y determined to be 90 degrees. X 45 degrees previously, plus the Z equals to be 180 degrees. On the left, that's going to leave me with 135 plus the Z equals to be 180. Minus 135 on the left, minus 135, or take it across, I'm going to have Z. Going to leave me with 180 degrees minus 135 degrees. So therefore Z going to leave me with the answer of 45 degrees. Guys, you can see that these three calculations, homework, very beautiful calculations. I really need you to understand it. Make sure that you look over the video a couple of times to make sure that you have the insight in how to look at these calculations. When we meet each other, we will go to another topic so that we can proceed with our work. Have fun, guys. Till next time.